I woke up at 4 a.m. It's now 5 something. Let's see, it says around 5:15 a.m. I'm having thoughts like I've had a lot these thoughts many times before. I'm saying that I look at these pictures of these beautiful women in online, which is like a coffer of gold and jewels for somebody like me to look at pictures like this. And I say to myself, in my life, I never run into women like this. I never have. Now, I got to say, my wife is attractive. She is. She's a nice looking woman, and I was very lucky to find her, but I did not like Asian women at that time. In fact, I disliked them. And so my wife comes along. She's an attractive Asian woman, and I'm not attracted to her because she is attractive. To me, she's an Asian woman. Something I didn't want. But I said, okay, I'm 40 years old. I haven't even met anything that likes me at all. And this is an attractive woman. She's Asian. Was I like hot, head over heels? No, not at all. This is not the kind of woman that I wanted. So, I'm saying to myself, here's a woman who likes me. I'm going to take her. I'm 40. Okay. I say yes to her. Now, I'm married to her for 30 years now, almost 31. And I got to say that I was very lucky to get to this woman. She's deaf, she can't talk, but I was very lucky. She's been a great wife, but like I say, or like the scholar Joseph Campbell said, he said, marriage for most people is a cordial relationship with somebody, good for the raising of children. And I have to say that that's basically what I have with my wife. That's nice. Who's knocking it? You're in a cordial relationship with someone, good for the raising of children. You raise your children, if you have any, in a nice environment, and they grow up healthy and strong and successful. Great. But as he said, a relationship like that does not satisfy a person's need for what he calls the electrification of love, in what you might call true love. It's not that. It is love, but if you're looking at love the way Dante looked at it, for example, there are levels of love, okay? From the lowest to the highest levels. And true love has to be the highest level of love between a man and a woman, right? That's true love. And this cordial relationship, good for the raising of children, it's far lower on the experience of love. A cordial relationship is not like the soulmate's quenching of its desire for passion and understanding and relationship on the highest levels of communication and mutual gratification, uh, that one person can receive and extend to the other. This is not a cordial relationship. That's not what happens in a cordial relationship. So, I was looking at pictures of these attractive women, and I'm saying to myself that the only place I really see women like this is in pictures. I don't run into them in real life. I just don't. And then I was saying, there was one Asian beauty who's like the one of the only really beautiful women that I've run into in my personal life. I was getting toward retirement, and for 20 years in the job I worked downtown, At lunchtime, I ate my lunch at my desk and then took a walk. Every single day, rain or shine. Raining, I walked under an umbrella. Snowing, I just walked in the snow. I walked every day, without exception, for 20 years. So, on one of those walks, I was getting toward retirement. I'm talking about like the last weeks before I retired. And I'm coming up through Chinatown on 7th Street toward 8th Street. In fact, I was getting toward the intersection of 7th and 8th, which is the center of Chinatown. And this really sharp looking, hot Asian woman gets out of a limousine that's parked there in front of the restaurants. It's almost all restaurants there. And she's really sharp looking and beautiful. And she's got like a dragon tattoo down by her left ankle, not a small one. Maybe 3 or 4 inches high. It was a really ornate dragon tattoo, and she was a hot looking Asian woman, like a movie star. Maybe she was one. But, I kept walking back to work, but I got to say, I don't run into women like that. That's one of the few times in my life I have now. Occasionally, I remember when I was writing my novel, when I went out on my walks every day, because I would write at my desk at home and then walk to Bethesda, I would occasionally see a very attractive woman, briefly, wherever I might be. And I wrote some of these when I tried to meet. I kind of like hung around the women, or I said, "There's one there." I tried to get near or whatever. It never worked for me, and I never met any. And none of them were like hot like that woman I saw downtown. They just weren't. But some were, some weren't. I remember now. I did write those as sketches. My experiences. I saw this woman and I kind of followed her. See what's she doing? Where's she going? Who is she? I did that, and I wrote those up. But I never met any of them. I didn't. So I was saying to myself as I'm here in bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm an old man now. I'm saying, to be successful in true love, you're going to be as rare a person in the world as one of those billionaires is in the world of money. People who want to make a lot of money, they want to have $43 billion like Bill Gates, right? Well, to be like that in the world or in the context of true love, you're going to be as rare as Bill Gates in the world of money. Because essentially what you're doing is you're coming to $43 billion worth of love. That $43 billion, it's like more than some countries have. And one man has that in the world of money. Now, if he wanted a lot of money, he's got his dream come true, right? 43 billion is more than some countries have. So he's gratified his desire for money for sure. Now, so if you're going to be successful in true love, you're going to be that rare. You're going to be rare in the context of love as he is in the world of money. How many people have $43 billion like him? They don't exist. There's maybe a handful of people, and that's it. 5 or 6 people in the entire world. There's 8 billion people alive now. Among 8 billion, 5 or 6 people? What is that percentage of that? I had to put this on pause and find that. I'm going to find what is 5 as a percentage of 8 billion. Let me take a look. Okay, I just checked the math. If let's say there's only 5 men in the world who accumulate the wealth equivalent of, let's say, $43 billion. There's only 5 men or women in the entire world population of 8 billion people who will make it to that level of wealth. Okay? Well, if those are the numbers, right, then your chances of becoming that wealthy, okay, are 1.6 billion to 1. Okay, the chance you have one chance in 1.6 billion chances that you're going to succeed that way, which means the odds are very heavily that you're not going to do that, right? So I'm saying to succeed in true love in this world, you got odds like that. You're facing odds like that. Just the people who get wealthy like that, let's say that's what they want to do. They want to be wealthy like that. And that's not necessarily true because some of these people, like Bill Gates, he was just interested in computers. And it turns out that it made him a fortune because he was good at it. But I don't think he was out to make lots of money. It wasn't his, but I don't know. I don't know his personal situation, but it does sometimes happen that people who become immensely wealthy like that that's not their goal. Okay? But anyway, the odds that you're going to become that wealthy are 1.6 billion to 1 that you're not. Okay? So, I'm saying if you're on the quest for true love, okay, you're facing odds like that 1.6 billion to 1 that you're not going to succeed. Because the people who do succeed in true love, they're so rare that there are no stories of successful true love. They don't exist because nobody experiences that. So, from that point of view, it's even more rare than making it to $43 billion. It must be. Because, well, I don't know, 1.6 billion to 1, there's not enough there for stories to be written. So, that's how hard it is to get to true love. Now, since I was thinking along the lines that some people make it to wealth like that, but that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for that wealth, but they come to it. Even though the odds are stacked against them not to achieve wealth of that kind, they achieve it, and it wasn't their goal. So, is it possible that some people who are not searching for true love find it? The way a man comes to billions of dollars when he just wants to be good at computers. And that ends him up with $43 billion that he wasn't even looking for. Well, I gotta say, when it comes to love, I don't think that kind of thing can happen because, well, it could. Because, sometimes by chance it seems love happens between people by chance. So I guess by chance, even though the odds are stacked against you, 1.6 billion to 1 that you're not going to find that true love, some people may be out in the world trying to become wealthy, and they come to true love instead. Like scientists that you read about, the scientists, he's looking, I heard about this, he's looking to invent the strongest glue ever. Well, he doesn't do that by accident. He discovers the glue that is on the Post-it notes. Okay? It's not the strongest glue ever, but it's so original a glue, it makes this guy a fortune who invented it. Now, he may not have wanted to make a fortune. He may have just wanted to make the strongest glue and, have a a regular life as like a middle class man. He wasn't out to become one of these $43 billion wealthy folks, but while trying to do one thing, he succeeded at another. So um, it is possible, I guess, not to be looking for true love and to find it. Well, I'm one of those people who are looking for it. And since I'm now an old man, I'm saying, well, I never really found it. I did manage to marry a nice woman who's nice looking, but, and she wasn't what I wanted, but she turned out to be great. So, like I was looking for the strongest glue and I found the Post-it note glue, which is great too. Didn't find what I wanted, but found something great. So that's my wife. Okay, so I wasn't looking for somebody like my wife, and I found my wife, and she's great. However, she's not the true love that I was questing for. Now, does that matter to the man that he was looking to make the strongest glue ever, and he got the Post-it note glue, made a fortune? Well, I don't know his inner self, so to speak, but he may have gone on trying to make that strongest glue ever and was never able to do it. Who knows? He may have not have been satisfied that he made a lot of money from the Post-it note glue. That's not what he wanted. He didn't want a lot of money. He wanted to make the strongest glue ever. It was like a personal challenge to him as a scientist. Well, I don't know, but I got to say that if your goal is to find true love, and you find a substitute that is satisfying, but it's not what you were looking for, you have not succeeded at your quest. You found an alternative, a substitute that's like satisfying in its way, and it's better than what a lot of other people have, but it's not what you wanted. What you wanted was that true love. Just like if you were in finance or in the world of making money, you wanted to make $43 billion like Bill Gates and be that wealthy, and you became a millionaire. You had, like, say, $43 million. That's plenty of money, right? But it's nowhere near what $43 billion is, right? So, is somebody like that satisfied? I would say no. If you wanted the $43 billion, you're not satisfied with 43 million. Because your goal was the 43 billion. And people say, hey, look what you did. You got this. But you might say, no, that's not what I wanted. So I got to say that as an old man, I can't believe I'm saying that about myself. My life has flown by. And you hear when you're younger people saying it, you say, your life has flown. What the hell are you talking about? But that is the way it is. What 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 I'm saying here turns out to be true. You get old, and this is the way it does look. You say your life flew by and it's gone. Well, and a lot of the time of my life, I was working toward my goals without realizing I was getting older and older. It's like you're wandering through a forest and you're on a long, long journey through that forest. Eventually, you realize you're deep in that forest. You didn't realize you were wandering that far into the forest, really. Then suddenly you realize at a certain time, my God, I've gone all these years through this forest. I'm deep in that forest. You may even be lost at that point. I say, my God, like Dante, nel mezzo del cammin di nostra vita, in the middle of the journey through this life, he realized he was lost in a wood like that. Well, I'm saying that this quest for true love, it's been my quest. I see there's a tear in my eye here. I don't know if that's from emotion or just God knows what, but I'm not satisfied that what I wanted I haven't found. I didn't want to be rich. I didn't necessarily want to be famous. I figured being famous as a writer might lead me to a successful true love, but I never made success as a writer, so that wasn't going to lead me there that way. Now, I'm coming to the end of my life, and uh, the chances that I'm going to find true love, if I look at this mathematically, they must be getting increasingly bad for me the older I get, right? Because let's face it, the attraction between the sexes has a lot to do with how you look, how healthy you are, how strong, and that's mostly younger people, up to like the far reaches of middle age. But when now you're in old age, and your ideal was this young, beautiful woman, you're gonna meet that young, beautiful woman now in your 70s, who looks like what you wanted when you were 20. The odds must be increasing exponentially here that you're not going to do that. So it turns out that I may have found as close to true love as I can possibly find in a woman who's middle aged. She's at least 40 years old, my wife says. Well, that wasn't my ideal, but I'm saying in my life now, a middle aged woman like this woman is the ideal. Because a woman that young, like 20s and all, it's not going to work for me now. It's not going to work because the psychology, the mind of a woman that young is not like compatible with my experience and wisdom. The levels of experience and wisdom I've reached by my age, so most compatible with me in terms of the physical beauty of the woman, I guess, along with the psychology, the mentality of the woman, is a woman who's in middle age, like 40 and up. And I haven't met, but it seems like there's a woman that age that I might meet that I've fallen for. Now, I'm saying to myself, a successful relationship with this woman could mean the successful completion of this quest. And I'll be one of those people who achieve this success against odds like I mentioned. 1.6 billion to 1 against you succeeding in this area. Well, I'm saying to myself, okay, at least I see the woman's there. This is in itself an achievement. I see she is reachable, but once again, I'm facing incredible odds in being able to get together with her. By now, I'm a married man. I'm old. I don't look that good. I'm not as healthy as I was, and so on and so forth. The odds are like increasing that even though I've actually discovered a possible woman for the successful completion of my quest, the odds are still stacked against me that I ever get together with her. So I'm just thinking about these things tonight. I'm saying, you know, I'm saying all I've just said. And I gotta say that facing odds like that, when I'm calculating them now, I never did such a thing when younger. I never thought, gee, the possibility of me finding this true love, it's like 1,000,000,000 to 1 against me. I never thought about that at all. I might have thought it's rare, but I would have thought I got a good chance of succeeding. Well, now that I'm old and I see the end of my life looming ahead, I'm calculating the math here because I'm trying to figure out, can I do this at the end here or not? Well, at this point in my life, I'm saying that in my personal case, the odds are greater than 1.6 billion to 1 against me. They're greater for a lot of reasons. I was declared to be crazy when younger and so on, and I got lots and lots of factors that make it even more improbable that I could ever achieve success at this quest. Nevertheless, even with odds against you like that, there is that one chance in 1.6 billion that you might be successful. That chance is still there. Well, since it is, what's left? What's left is to go on trying to succeed against all odds that you're not going to succeed. That's all that's left. And so that's what I'll be doing to the end of my life. But as you can see, I don't feel very encouraged. Facing odds like that is like saying you're standing in front of an ocean. You got to cross. You know how you're going to cross that ocean? What are you going to do? You're going to cross the ocean how?